Morning students, yesterday we have started our chapter 2 of geography. Okay students, chapter 2 of geography, yesterday we have started forest and wildlife resources. Okay, and in my previous video I have given the introduction of this chapter. Okay, I have told you about flora, I have told you about fauna also. Okay, and we have discussed the basic elements of this chapter. Okay, now I am taking this chapter further, so get ready everyone. So students, today's our topic is IUCN classification of flora and fauna. Okay, as you can see, this one IUCN. Okay, I have taken this IUCN from this paragraph. So today's our topic is IUCN classification of flora and fauna. But before explaining this classification, I would like to tell you about these datas. Okay, about vanishing forest. These lines are about vanishing forest, and you should be aware about these lines also. So attend these lines. The dimensions of deforestation in India are staggering. Okay students, we are discussing about the causes of deforestation. As you all know about that, what is deforestation? We human being are continuously cutting down the trees for our needs and for our different purposes. Okay students, because we prepare our many types of products with the help of wood, with the help of different products which we are getting from trees. Okay, so for we would like to fulfill our needs, we would like to fulfill our desires, so we are cutting down the trees, and the strength of the trees and the strength of the forest is continuously going down. So this is known as deforestation. Okay, decreasing strength of forest areas is known as deforestation. Okay, the forest and tree cover in the country is estimated at 79.42 million hectare, which is 24.16% of the total geographical area. Okay students, these lines are telling that our total forest cover is nearby 79.42 million hectares. Okay, and you know this area is nearby 24.16% of the total geographical area. Okay, now see the strength of different types of forest. Dense forest we have 12.2%, open forest we have 9.14%, and mangrove we have 0.14%. Okay students, learn these data. According to the state of forest report 2015, okay, according to the report of 2015, the dense forest cover has increased by 3775 square kilometers since 2013. It means our forest cover has been increased since 2013. And how much it has been increased? 3775 square kilometer. Okay, it's a good matter, it's a good news. However, this apparent increase in the forest cover is due to conservation measures. Let's discuss the factors which are responsible for the increase in the forest area. Conservation measures, because our government is continuously making new schemes so that we can conserve our trees. Management interventions, okay, and plantation. In plantation we would like to grow more and more trees. So by these measures our forest area has been increased since 2013. Okay students, now I'm going to explain this IUCN classification, and you know student, this classification is about flora and fauna. Okay, as yesterday I have told you, flora means plants and fauna means animals. So IUCN has given a classification of plants and animals, and this IUCN has given 6 categories. Normal species number 1, endangered species number 2, vulnerable species number 3, rare species it is number 4, endemic species it is number 5, and extinct species it is number 6. So these are total 6. What are these? These are different species of plants and animals. Okay, so learn it. Let us now understand the different categories of existing plants and animal species, okay, based on the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, IUCN. Students, you know what is the full form of this IUCN? International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. So this institution has given this classification. We can classify as follows. So just learn about this classification. Number one, normal species. Students attend these species very carefully. Normal species are those species whose population levels are considered to be normal for their survival, such as cattle. Okay, you all know cattle means animals. Sal, it is the name of tree. Pine, it is also a name of tree, and rodents, etc. Students, you know, in this classification, all the flora and fauna are included, which are whose population levels are considered to be normal, whose population levels are considered to be normal for their survive. Like we can take example, we can take a very common example of dogs. Okay, you can see that in our India, the strength of the dogs, or we can say the population of dogs, is as we can say that it is high. Okay, it is high. We can say street dogs also. Okay, many times we would like to make these dogs our domestic pets also. So the population of these dogs is enough. So this species is known as normal species. Cattle, it means animal. We can take other examples also, like cows, etc. Okay, sal, tree, pine is also a tree. So the strength of these animals and these trees, it's okay, it is known as normal. So these species are known as normal species. Okay, so let's take number two, endangered species. Students, you know, these species are, okay, endangered species are those species which are in danger of extinction, you know, loss. Okay, in this category those species are included which are in danger of extinction. It means in future we will not be able to see these categories of animals and these categories of plants, because these are in danger of extinction. The survival of such species is difficult if the negative factors that have led to a decline in their population continue to operate. Students, you know, many factors are responsible due to many factors are responsible for that, for this danger of extinction. You know, and if these factors are going operating continuously, then it is very clear that in future these species may be extinct. The examples of such species are black buck, okay, crocodile also. Students, you know, which animals or and mammals are included in this category, like black buck, crocodile, okay, Indian wild ass, Indian rhino also, lion-tailed macaw also, sangai also, okay, and sangai is a species of deer, bro enter deer, you know, and it has been found in Manipur. Manipur, you know, everybody, that Manipur is a northeastern state. Sangai, it is a species of deer. And students, you know what is this lion-tailed macaw? Don't consider that, ma'am, it's a category of lion. No, just attend these lines. Lion-tailed macaw. Students, it is a species of monkey. It is a species of monkey, and you know it is found in southern India. Southern India, like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. Okay, it means in southern states, this monkey, this lion-tailed macaw has been found. Okay, students, just take an example like these, like just discuss about our southern states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala. Students, you know, our industrialization is going to increase day by day. Okay, and for a high category of industrialization, people feel the need of trees more and more. Okay, and if they would like to take wooden products more and more, then obviously they are cutting down the trees continuously. And this lion tailed macaw has been found in the forest areas of these states. Okay, forest areas are continuously decreasing and decreasing. So what will be the result of this process? Very clear, the result will be like this, that in future, in coming days, we will not see this type of monkey. So this species is also in the danger of extinction. So this is the explanation about endangered species. Okay students, now just take number 3. Number 3, it is vulnerable species. What we are doing the IUCN classification of flora and fauna, 6 categories. Third, I have taken vulnerable species. Students, these are species whose population has declined. Decline means decreased to levels from where it is likely to move into the endangered category in the near future if the negative factors continue to operate. Students, these lines are telling to you that just take the example of these species. The examples of such species are blue ship. Blue ship is also in this category. Asiatic elephant is also in this category. Gangetic dolphin is also in this category. Just read about Gangetic dolphin, students. It is a species of dolphin, okay, and it has been found in Ganga river. It has been found in Ganga river, so the name of this dolphin is Gangetic dolphin. Okay students, so let me explain more about this vulnerable species. Students, vulnerable species are those species whose population has declined. It means population is going to decrease day by day. So it may be possible that in future the strength of these species may be extinct, and very soon these species will be included in endangered species, because endangered species are talking about those species which are in danger, and this type of category is talking about those species whose population has declined. And very clear, if the population is going down day by day, then very soon these species also may be in danger of extinction. Okay, I think the point is clear to you. Okay student, just take this explanation more, like Gangetic dolphin, how the strength of this dolphin is going to decrease. Students, as you all know that our Ganga river, it's okay that it's a big river, it's a very big river, but day by day our industrialization is also increasing. So we people are polluting this Ganga river by throwing garbage and very unnecessary type of material we are throwing in this river, and the water of this river is continuously polluting. So what is the result of this pollution? When the water is going to pollute, so it is a danger for this Gangetic dolphin. Okay students, it is a danger for this Gangetic dolphin. So it may be possible that in future we will not see this Gangetic dolphin. Okay, now take number 4, rare species. Rare species, these species with small population may move into the endangered or vulnerable category if the negative factors affecting them continue to operate. The examples of such species are the Himalayan brown bear. Okay, just take the species which are included in this rare species. Himalayan brown bear has been included in this category. Wild Asiatic buffalo has been included in this category, and desert fox and hornbill has been included in this rare species. Okay students. Okay, now number 5, endemic species. These species are which are only found in some particular areas, usually isolated by natural or geographical barriers. Okay students, these species are only found in some particular areas, specially isolated by natural or geographical barriers. Like examples, Andaman teal. Andaman teal, you know everybody, Andaman and Nicobar Island, and Nicobar pigeon. Nicobar pigeon, by the name you can take an idea that it is a type of pigeon, and it has been found in Nicobar. Okay, Nicobar Island. Andaman wild pig. It is also clear that it is a wild pig has been found in Andaman. Mithun in Arunachal Pradesh. So you can take an idea that these species are found specially in isolated areas. Okay, and this category is known as endemic species. Now extinct species, number 6 and last. These are species which are not found after searches of known or likely areas where they may occur. Okay, it means after searching more and more, we are unable to find these species, extinct, lost. Okay, a species may be extinct from a local area, region, country, continent, or the entire earth. Examples of such species are the Asiatic cheetah, pink-head duck. Especially we have taken two examples, Asiatic cheetah and pink-head duck. Students, you know, these species are, we are unable to see these species on our earth. Okay, so these are an extinct species. So this was our classification number 6. Okay students, what we did, IUCN classification of flora and fauna, 6 categories: normal species, number 2 endangered species, number 3 vulnerable species, number 4 rare species, number 5 endemic species, and number 6 extinct species. Asiatic cheetah. Student, this is a paragraph about this category, Asiatic cheetah. Okay, and you can read this paragraph by your own. So if you look around, you will be able to find out how we have transformed nature into a resource obtaining directly and indirectly from the forest and wildlife. Okay students, it means these lines are telling to you that only we people are responsible for this loss, that many species of animals and many species of plants, these are in the danger of extinction. Okay, no one is responsible for this high loss, only we people are responsible, because we are continuously transforming the forest areas, we are continuously cutting down the forest areas. When we are cutting down the forest areas, it is a loss to forest areas also, and you know forest areas are the home of animals also. So indirectly we are snatching the homes of these wild animals. So only we people are responsible, okay, directly and indirectly, from the forest and wildlife, like wood, barks, leaves, rubber. Okay, these lines are telling to you that we are taking each and every product from trees only. That's why we are cutting down the trees continuously. Just take wood, we are getting from trees, barks also, leaves, rubber, medicines, dyes, food, fuel, fodder, manure, etc. So it is we ourselves who have depleted our forest and wildlife. Now only I have told you that we people are continuously spoiling our environment. The greatest damage inflicted on Indian forests was during the colonial period, due to the expansion of the railways, agriculture. Colonial period, everybody know about it, when the British were in our India. They were making their rule. At that time, we were expanding our railways, agriculture, commercial, scientific, forestry, and mining activities. Okay, so what we did at that time, we were continuously cutting down the trees. Even after independence, agriculture expansion continues to be one of the major cause of depletion of forest resources. When we got our freedom, after that also we are continuously cutting down the trees. Why? Because of agriculture expansion. Okay, between 1951 and 1980, according to the Forest Survey of India, over 26,200 square kilometer of forest area was converted into agriculture land. Students, is a large amount of land area, 26,200. Okay, we have converted this much area of forest area was converted into agricultural land all over India. Substantial parts of the tribal belt, especially in the north, eastern and central India, have been deforested or degraded by shifting cultivation. Okay students, especially in eastern and central India, we were also cutting down the trees, we were increasing deforestation. Why? By shifting cultivation. Okay, for shifting cultivation, people were also cutting down the trees. It is also known as jhum agriculture. Okay, a type of slash and burn agriculture, and you all know about it, what is slash and burn agriculture. It means just cut down the trees Okay, just cut down the trees. After cutting down the trees, just burn those trees. Just burn those trees. After burning, slash will be there and the soil will be fertile. Oh, after getting the fertility, just start your agriculture. Okay, students, in this video I think this much explanation is enough. In my next video I will explain the further topics of this chapter, like we will take this topic, are colonial forest policies to be blamed, or further topics we will take. Okay students, so what you have to do, this is an important topic, IUCN classification of flora and fauna. So what you have to do, you have to prepare your own notes on the basis of this explanation, and after listening this video prepare your own notes in your geography fair notebook. Okay, and try to understand this topic. Okay students, thank you students, have a nice day.